If you've ever searched what I should grow in my garden, you already know the problem with that question. You get a list, a long list, 40 vegetables, 15 herbs, 8 fruits, and a note about your growing zone, a disclaimer about soil pH. And let's be honest, by the time you're done reading, you're more confused than when you started. I've been there. And you haven't planted anything, also. So today we're going to answer a different question. Not what you can grow, but actually what's worth growing specifically. What gives you the most value, what's most useful, and most consistent production across all 4 seasons. Now, you simply could just go back and watch many of the other videos I've done. But we want to talk about what is the crop that earns the space in your garden or your windowsill every single month of the year, not just during the 6 week summer window. We're going to go through 3 categories: herbs, vegetables, and fruit. And inside each one, we're going to crown a winner. A crop that gives you the best return on your time, your space, and your money year round in the widest range of growing situations. Now, that's a pretty awesome category to look at. So, save this video because we're going to get into it. Now, before we get into the categories, I want to define what year round actually means in this context because it means something specifically. A year round crop is not necessarily something you can harvest every single day of the month in every climate. It's not realistic for most plants. What it means is a crop that either produces continuously through multiple seasons or one that can be grown, harvested, preserved, and used consistently across the entire year so that it's always contributing to something in your kitchen. That's a fact. It also means that a crop can be grown in more than one way: outdoors in a garden bed, in a container, on a patio, a windowsill, indoors, or even under a grow light. Because a year round crop that only works in one specific climate or setup is not really a true year round crop, for most people at least. Those are 2 filters we're going to apply today: continuous production or year round usefulness, and flexibility of a growing method. With that in mind, let's start with herbs. The best year to grow year round is chives. Yeah, I know you're expecting basil, but basil's a wonderful herb and we love it. But basil is really a summer herb. It hates the cold, it bolts in the heat, and it soaks if you look at it the wrong way. In February, basil is a fair weather friend. Chives, on the other hand, show up every single year without being asked. Plant them once from seed or from a small starter plant, and they come back reliably for years. They handle light frost, they grow in containers, raised beds in the ground, and they do fine on bright windowsills indoors throughout the winter. If you bring the pot inside or start a new one, they grow back after cutting consistently without fuss. Now, here's the thing about usefulness: chives go on eggs and potatoes, soups, salads, sauces, on cream cheese. Hey, anything you're about to eat could use a mild onion flavor, right? With most things, they're not seasonal foods, they're an everyday food. And that is the standard for year round crop that it has to meet, right? That's what we're looking for. Now, honorable mentions do go to mint, which is incredibly hardy and regrows aggressively, and also to rosemary, which you could use as well, and but which, if you're in a warm enough climate, becomes a permanent perennial shrub that essentially never stops producing. But for versatility across climate, cooking uses, chive takes the top spot in the herb category and the best vegetable to grow year round. Um, sorry, we're going to move to the best vegetable to grow year round because that's going to be Swiss chard. This one surprises people, and I get it. Swiss chard does not have the cultural momentum that kale had. It's not showing up in every smoothie, and it does not have a devoted following on Instagram, at least, that puts it on a bumper sticker. But it is something better than hype. It has performance. Swiss chard is cut and will come again crop, which means you harvest the outer leaves and the plant just keeps on producing new ones from the center. You don't have to pull it up and replant. You just keep cutting from the same plant and it just keeps on growing. A single Swiss chard plant can produce continuously for 6 to 9 months under the right conditions. In mild climates, it can even go longer. It tolerates heat better than spinach, which bolts and turns bitter the moment the temperatures climb. It tolerates light frost better than most summer crops, and it also grows in containers just as happy as it grows in garden beds. Remember, keep this stuff in mind. The leaves can be eaten like spinach, raw in salads when young, cooked in soups, stir fries, and even pasta. When they get larger, the stems are a different texture than the leaves, and they can be cooked separately like a vegetable on their own right. Right. From a nutritional standpoint, Swiss chard is one of the more nutrient dense vegetables that you can actually grow. High in vitamins K, A, C, and a significantly magnesium and iron support. Now, if you're growing food for actual nourishment rather than just for the experience of growing it, well, Swiss charts puts in some serious work, like a boss. And if you want to contain a friendly multi-seasonal cut and come again vegetable that is useful in the year round, well, Swiss charts wins the vegetable category again. Honorable mentions now. Go to kale, which is a sturdy and continuously hardy plant, and green onions or scallions, which can be regrown from scraps or grown indoor year round almost anywhere. But Swiss chard gets the edge in overall versatility and sustained production. Remember why we're here, right? The best fruit to grow year round, well, you might love this one, strawberries, especially specifically the everbearing or day neutral varieties. The fruit is the hardest category to the hardest category to apply year-round logic because most fruit trees and large fruit planting have a defined season. An apple tree gives you apples in fall. Blueberries give you blueberries in summer. You can preserve them, but the production window is the production window. Strawberries in their traditional June bearing form have same limitation with few weeks of heavy productions, then they're done for the year. But everberries and the day neutral strawberry varieties are different. They produce fruit in flushes throughout the growing season, spring, summer, fall, rather than just all at once. The harvest is smaller in any given week than a June bearer at its peak, but the production period is dramatically longer. Some day neutral varieties will continue producing until the frost kills the plant. Another advantage of strawberries is they grow in containers and hanging baskets and vertical planters on patios in a strawberry tower or on a deck. Wow, I mean that's a lot of uses right there we just learned. You don't need land or even a yard to grow strawberries. You can grow strawberries on a balcony if you have a bright indoor space or a grow light setup. You can overwinter them indoors and extend the production for year round. Remember why we're here. Usefulness test. Strawberries you preserve in summer, frozen, jam, dehydrated, carry through the fall and winter easily. There's never a month in the year where a frozen strawberry is not useful. Huh. I'm thinking of daiquiris if you are. Honorable mention go to figs, which is incredibly productive in warm climates and can be container grown and brought indoors in cold times. Another honorable mention lemon trees, which can be grown as houseplants for accessibilities across climates, growing situations. Everbearing strawberries take the fruit category. Best herbs go to chives, plant once, harvest for years, grow anywhere, and use in everything. I like that. Best vegetable year round, Swiss charge. Cut, come again, right? Thank you, come again. Multi season container friendly garden and nutrient dense. The best fruit ever bearing strawberries. Extended production seasons, container friendly, preservable, and universally loved, unless you got an allergies. None of these here are the flashiest choice, but they work. They work in apartments, backyards, raised beds, container, on fire escapes, grow lights, basements. They work in spring, summer, fall, and even help through the winter. The best crop is not always the most exciting one, but the one that shows up for you consistently every single month. That's what Ancestry Land Standard is, and these three have earned it. Now let's give it up for our winners here and our runner-ups, right? This video is the first in a series of year-round growing with the deep dive videos coming back for each pick. Subscribe so you don't miss anything. Give me that HMO special. Give me a like. You help me out, right? Leave a comment. Tell me if you agree or what crop you can grow year round that maybe that deserve a spot that you think is a contender. Start here. The rest builds on its own for the very first harvest. Thanks, and see you in the next one. Peace. That's it, folks. You can go to Ancestry Lands to start owning property today with payments starting at $250 a month, no credit checks, and owning land has never been easier. It's time to build your land portfolio one property at a time. We help you to get dollars from dirt and build generational wealth by owning small plots of affordable vacant land. Contact us to learn more. Oh, and speaking of dollars from dirt, I also wrote a book about investing in land for you readers out there. My book, Getting Dollars from Dirt, A Beginner's Guide to Vacant Land Investing, is on Amazon. The link is in the description section below. Inside, you'll learn simple, easy to read insights that will have you understanding why you should own land today. For more tips and tricks, subscribe for updates, comment below, and let us know what you enjoyed about this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
I remember like and subscribe.